checklist at the very top of the checklist, and I was just reminded about this. I shouldn't need reminding, but I do from time to time, which is why it's important to have a checklist. Case in point. This is a tool called Forex Factory, and it's one of several that do this, but a lot of people use this one. I'm going to send out this link to you. It's a very important item to have on your overall checklist, because you'll know at least what is coming in the, in the upcoming time frame. This is all displayed in my time zone here where I am in Pacific time. I would encourage you to set up an account with this service. This is so that whatever time zone you're in, it will publish all of this news in your time zone. And then you can go up here to where this little filter, green filter icon is right there. Click that, and you'll be able to define what do you want. Do you want just red folder? Okay, let's do that. Then you can define what currency. If you wanted to look at it and get that granular, you can define what things you want to pay attention to. I've narrowed the list in this case just now to just red folder. We do have some news coming up today. Canadian typically is not as big as the US news. So here was one that Robert and Victor were just discussing. It was at 5:15 a.m., which is about 45 minutes ago. Don't have anything coming up that's really big until tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. And then the 800-pound gorilla every month. Typically, this one has real potential for being big. Yesterday, we weren't sure whether it was going to be big or not. And voila, it turned out to be a pretty big and impactful news. So this is why it's important to know what's coming. So, if it turns out to be a rogue wave, you're prepared for it, and you get your rowboat parked on shore so you don't get clobbered. It really had a powerful effect yesterday, for instance, on the US dollar. We were looking at some trades, and sure enough, boom, just out of nowhere, big impact. So before we get into the event today, this is a very important thing. I'd encourage you to take a screenshot of this. Trading is risky. Your results will vary and are not guaranteed. The information that we're showing you is for educational purposes only. It's trade ideas. We're not giving you financial advice. It's up to you whether you invest or not at your own discretion. We're going to be trading indices, Forex, not metals, although we may at some point, and other instruments. And it's at your full discretion as the user, and you are solely responsible for your own trading results. You could sustain a loss or some of all of your initial investment, and should therefore evaluate your own risk tolerance before trading, and only trade with money you can afford to lose. Any links in my posts may contain affiliate referral links and may generate a reward for the referrer. In fact, hopefully they do. Never risk funds you cannot afford to lose. That's really the punchline here. In other words, if you're getting into this for the first time, especially, trade a demo account. Get your chops together, which is why, having a time horizon, if you're brand new, don't plan on being a superstar trader in a week. It just doesn't work that way. You've got to make a commitment to it over a period of time. You talk to anybody that has done this, that's been successful in their journey. They're committed to it, and they're committed to it for the long haul. And it's worth that if you're willing to pay that price to really develop those skills. Before we get into this, also, I want to mention this as a very important item on the overall agenda. I know this is going to come as a shock, but we're here to make money. And if you have not seen this promotion, or if you happen to find us as a result of this promotion, take advantage of it. It's a really great deal. You can become a customer for $20 this month, and then in January, it will revert to the regular pricing. If you become a customer and an affiliate, they call an IBO, an independent business. What is that, IBO? Help me.
You've got me on the spot, Rob.
Yeah, if anybody knows IBO, throw me a life preserver, but it's an affiliate.
I'd say opposite, but that sounds a bit fancy, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. I always am all the acronyms in this networking business. This means you can market what we've got. Let's put it that way. That's $40. And then it reverts to $119 in January. So this gives you the ability to offer this to others. Right now, you get us for free for the month of December. And then if you want to continue in this trading, in these live trading sessions, you're able to do that by simply becoming at least a customer in January. In other words, if you're a paid customer, we will allow you to participate with us and allow you to be in our signals group, which we're just getting rolling. In fact, the first signal came out today in that group. Thank you, Robert Russell. So you get us, you also get Manifest for $20 to be able to see all of the stuff that's with Manifest, and specifically the part there's a whole lot of other stuff that I don't want to get in the weeds on, but the signals are excellent and the education is excellent. Well worth the $99 a month as a customer. I'm biased, but I think we're worth that. And at the same time, I think Manifest is worth that. In fact, I was with a company prior to Manifest where we were paying $200. And I think the overall offering and the overall benefit is higher. And this is half the price.
Way higher.
So, pardon me?
Oh, sorry. I wasn't muted. I said it got way more value than the other one.
Good. Thank you for that, Victor. So take advantage of this. And also, when you have people that that would like to trade, what a great opportunity. Have them come in here and kick the tires for free with us. They don't even have to reach for their $20 customer trial. If they want to, certainly they can, but not a high price to pay to get this whole thing. And for us, they can come in and see what we do. In fact, with the other company, we did this very type of thing. We did a trial in July and August before the official launch in 2022, and it worked really well. So if you are an affiliate, take advantage of this, man. Don't miss it. Okay, now into the meat of the matter for the trading. So this is a checklist. I'm going to send this checklist out to you in chat also. I sent the calendar out in chat, which is the Forex Factory. Let me get this here. Here's our checklist. This is a very, very important thing to be mindful of each day. I was the poster boy for this today because I forgot, one of the most important things right at the top of the list, Forex Factory. Well, now I don't forget because, it's like if you fly with a pilot, you want to make sure they have a checklist. If the pilot doesn't have a checklist, you might want to get on a different plane. What we're going to get into is we're going to check the news. We just did that. Robert Russell works diligently to show you how to do top-down analysis. Starts at the higher time frames, works his way down to kind of getting to entry points, draw out the zones and the market structure lines. He's brilliant at this. It's basic, but it works like crazy. Is he 100%? No. He's a real trader. Is he going to get some wrong? Yes. Has he done a great job of avoiding some of that? Yes. And so the winning trades, our goal is to have more winning trades than losing trades, but we will have losing trades, which is why you want to be very careful about your risk and not have too much risk and make sure it's not going to turn around. It's not going to come back. Take the good loss. And I'll get into the technical stuff toward the end as time allows when we're not really in the meat of the matter and the heat of the matter. We'll get into different tools. I've got something to show you on TradingView today, which I'm excited about. I'll show you how to do some paper trading on TradingView. Let me remind myself to do that. It's a cool thing where you can start taking trades directly on TradingView. Especially important if you're in a place that you can get live accounts on TradingView. All of my fellow countrymen, the Americans, sadly, we are not able to do that if you're a U.S. citizen yet. Demo paper account. Remind me if I forget that, by the way, guys, because there's a lot on the drawing board here. Now, speaking of losses, this is a thing that is a really important thing to have in your,
Just got trouble covered.
Really important thing to have in your arsenal, and it's trading psychology. I know I was really raised win. It's important. I wrestled and played sports and all of that, and the idea of losing is not good. But we're in a different arena here. In other words, it's a matter of how you look at losing. This is a guy, Tom Hugard, is one of the best traders on the planet. And guess what? He has regular losses. But Tom, worked for big Wall Street firms. He has won multiple trading competitions. He has losses regularly, but he makes the point, if you get your mindset right, if you didn't get it right, it's okay. Cut the loss short, move on to the next one. In other words, the trading psychology is a crucial part of this whole game. So this is a book that you can get. It's on Amazon. You can also get the Audible, meaning you can listen to the audio where you're working out or you're out walking or doing whatever you love to do. You can tune in on the audio, and then you come back to the book and look at the diagrams in the book. Another thing that I'll be getting into, not immediately, but because we've got enough on the agenda, but we will be looking at adding trading journals so that you can make notes about when you've done great things and notes about things you want to avoid doing a second time. Very helpful in your trading journey to take your trading outcomes seriously and try to really bolster your strengths and put up good defenses against your weaknesses. One of mine was getting out of trades. I would let it run. I'd make some money, some real good money, and then I'd give it all back, which is just dumb. And so this psychology was very helpful to me because I saw a guy who was one of the very best traders on the planet say losses are a part of the game. So it's a very important thing to embrace that. So with that, I want to turn it over to my colleague from Ireland, Mr. Robert Russell. He's teaching me a bit about the Irish dialect, and I'm trying to do my best now and then to go down.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Robert and I became fast friends and business associates in February last year. It'll be a year in February. And I was in Europe with my wife, who's Romanian, and we were flying back, and we decided, hey, why don't we stop by Ireland? It was such a I'm so pleased that we did that. We met Robert, and he was nice enough to drive us around his county, Donegal, Ireland, which is just extraordinarily pretty. So we had a chance to meet one another, break bread. It's better than Zoom. So with that, you're in very good hands. Robert is the fellow that is generating our trade signals. I'm the tech guy, and hopefully we can help you get better outcomes. So with that, Mr. Robert Russell.
Mr. Robert Burns, thank you very much, folks. And a great, last week, as it says, we started this, and I think we had 3, 4, 5 people, and it's incredible how word spreads. It's all about value. It's about education. What we want from these calls, okay, we're going to call live trades, folks. We're not going to get them all correct, because we're human. We're going to have losses. The most importantly is that you can actually follow what we are at. You're going to actually educate yourself. Maybe when you go off this call, you go, wow, I actually see what this guy means. And you go, wow, I can see what he means and place a trade. But the most important thing, what I will do, folks, is I will have my stop loss in place. Most of the time, I don't let it hit it. I will cut it early because I always have a reason behind it, okay? I called the trade in the group earlier. Unfortunately, it didn't go our way, but I'll show you now why I called the trade, stop, close it. It was a small loss. To me, that is a winner in my eyes, okay, folks? I call a small loss a winner, and I didn't attach any emotions to it. That's it. Let's move on to the next trade. So I'm going to bring up what happened earlier on. Bear with me here now.
Yeah, let me just say too, Robert, that graphic you did was perfect. It made it so much easier to go in and plot it out on TradingView and then onto MT5.
Great to hear that. Folks, I don't mind doing that. It's fairly quick. So folks, what happened earlier on was I did place my entry here, okay? We did have our stop loss up here. The lines is there for a reason. I'm looking left, folks. I have nothing now to look left, okay? What I'm going is I looked at previous highs, okay? How far above it did it go? So I looked and I done all the markings before I called the trade. So I put my entry here. I put my stop loss up here. But this line here, to me, played the major role. To me, I thought the entry was here, but I brought the stop loss up higher. I thought we might come to this level. We might. And retrace back down and then drop. But once we break through this line, I call my trade, like I close the sale. Okay, I closed it. the way I look now, this was a good trade. Yes, this has continued to go on up. So to me, the same as Robert says, you know, the best loser ones, that was a good losing trade. Okay. I cut it short. I lost very, very little on that. I think it was like 0.4, 0.5%. It was a small loss. I don't lose. I hardly ever let my trades hit my stop loss. I'll always have my lines in place. If it cuts through it, I come out. With this is the DAX, folks. Everything is pointing on a pullback. Okay, everything is pointing. Where this stop loss line is, you'll see another blue line up here above it. This could be me on my entry for a sale, and I will stay in the trade then. Okay, even though it goes against me a little bit, I might give it a wee bit more room than my 1% loss. You know, I might give it a little bit more, but the max that I will lose, let's just say, I can see it turning around, but I won't put no more than 3% max of my portfolio at risk. Okay, I'll put on one trade, I'll place it, I will let it go into drawdown, but if it goes over the 3%, I'm out. Okay, I'll take the loss, because 3% of your overall portfolio, yes, we can get it back in a couple of days trading. Okay, so it's so important. So that's why I closed that trade there. I'll give you the reason, and that's why, and it was a good decision to close it early. Okay, because it continued on up. So I will come back over here, folks, and I'm possibly just showed you here. I'm going to get rid of these lines. Okay, I want to leave these lines in here because I need them. So we're going to go to USJPY. I've been looking at these, folks. I have lines and I have markers already because it takes time to get all your lines in place. So what I think what's going to happen here, folks, okay, this is the trades, honestly, I don't like, because you have to sit and wait patiently. This will play out the way I have it marked, okay? So we've got trend line coming down, trend line coming up. We're going to have to possibly wait till it gets into this corner and say they're going to go up or it's going to go down. Most people will go, oh, I'll get in here, I'll get out there, I'll get in there, I'll get out here. That's okay. But what if you get in here and you seen it touching the line and it come back a little bit and you put in your sale, the next minute it broke through the line? To me, we're better to wait. Okay, we're going to be patient here. We're going to eventually, if we do break through the line, we do kick up, we will get in on a trade. But this is the USJPY. This is on the 30 minutes. I still think we're going to break down, okay. Break down the way we're going to go for a sale, but I'll wait. We go to the 4 hours. As you can see, folks, okay, we're coming down. We went up, we went down, we went up, we went down, we went up. To me, it's like we're going to come on here, and if all going correct, down we go. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at, a sale in this area, and then to tank and come down. So that's what I'm looking at here. If we put on the pivots, this is one of the lines that it's so important. And folks, it's really crazy. Look at the line here, the daily pivot, and another one, just to see where it's just bouncing off them in between, up, down, okay? So those lines are important. Those are pivot lines. So what we will be doing is we're going to wait, and maybe it'll come over here. And if it breaks up, folks, let's say if it broke through that line, I won't enter. It's got to break that daily pivot, okay? So if it breaks through my trend line, there's one confirmation. Breaks through my pivot, I have got 2. And I'll keep a tight stop loss below it. So that is the USD JPY, and we're going to go to the euro versus the dollar. I'm going to take off these pivots because it does make it a little bit scary. Again, folks, we're on the 4 hours. If I put on the pivots here, this is getting rejected here for a reason, okay? I put on the daily pivots. Watch what's going to happen. We're getting a lot of rejection off this one here, okay? So we've got a pivot here, which is a red. Folks, the green and the blue, the green is a weekly, the blue is the daily. We pay a lot more attention to the red, which I'm pretty sure is monthly, and we've got the black, which is quarterly. Again, it broke through, and now it's in as what I call a range. It's undecisive where it's going to go. Again, what am I looking at? If I go to the 4 hours, that's got a lot of support there. Big wicks at the bottom of those candles. Okay, so it's getting pushed up. I have my entry for a sale, as you can see here, because I need it to break below all of these candles. I need a big candle with lots of pressure pushing down, and this is the only area where I will hit a sale, is here. Okay, so we're looking for a possible sale in the euro versus the dollar, the USD versus the JPY. Bear with me, I get this stuff off the screen. Again, I'm looking for a sell as well, folks, because to me, that's just, we went up, we came down, a retrace up. The way I look at it, just getting fuel in the tank before we get a further push down. It's going to go up, it's going to go down. Okay, so we'll just wait patiently. Again, the DAX, I'm going to do my pivots on here, folks. Okay, bear with me. And so we have a pivot here. Honestly, I don't think it has it in it to get this high. I really don't. Looking at previous highs, like other highs, folks, it might have got to 16,400, and then to break that high, it just went up maybe another 100, like up 1,600, 500, and then it done its drop. The last high on DAX was 16440. So to me, I think we're going to get a reaction off this line here now where we're at, which is 1660. A lot of people don't use the RSI markers, but I'm watching them on the DAX because, especially, folks, I think it's on the hour or the 4 hour. We are sitting at 88, 89 on the RSI marker, and the max we can go is 100. And this is where I think we're going to get a retrace in this area here. So I'm going to go down to the 5 minute.
So it's hitting the daily right now?
Yes, that's correct, Robert.
Mm-hmm.
And it is showing it respect. As you can see, it's come up, it's got rejected, broke through, back down, broke through, back down. Candle, it's tricky with the DAX. It's because I always look left, and folks, I don't have anything to look left because we've broke all-time highs. And it's like, if you put a, let's just say we put a sell on the DAX, we would use a small lot size. So, you know, even if we went away up to this area here, would still be maybe only at about 0.51%, if that makes sense. We're not going to lose a big lot. We'll put on a sale, and it will be a small lot size. Okay. So we're giving ourselves room to breathe. And then when it hits, it's going to hit resistance here. It just has to. And there's been absolutely no retrace. If we go to 4 hours, there has been no pullbacks, nothing since down here. Okay, we had a small retrace there. It wasn't a lot, and then it's pushed up. It just went sideways before it kicked up, and there has been no retrace at all. And we have broke our previous high. Bear with me, folks. I'll go to the daily. Let's just take this off. I'll go to the daily, and then you'll see my previous high. I want to get rid of this because I was just checking stuff out. So here was my previous high. What were we at? 16530. This was the other previous high here, which was what I'm trying to figure out, folks, is every time it broke its previous high, it went up roughly another 100, whether you call it pips or points. And then it seems to, you know, it broke its high, it went a wee bit above, and then it tanked. It went a wee bit above, and then it tanked. To me, this is the level that we should see the retrace. Okay, we should. As it says, folks, if we call a sale, it's going to be a small lot size. Let's just say, I'm just going to look over here now, folks, because okay, so it's broke that line again. We'll come back to it. I'm in no rush. As you can see, this is just going to go up, down, up, down, up, down, and gets over here, and then it's going to do its thing. Okay. Most people would probably trade. No, they actually would trade in between lines, you know, folks. They do it. When it bounces off here, they'll do a sale, take the profit, come in here with a buy. People do that. As you can see, we found a lot of support in this area here. And I'm expecting, folks, the dollar to come up and maybe touch this line and then come back down again. And then again, we could farm a new trend. You know, we could break the line here. We could go through it. Because there's a lot of resistance here. And this is on the early candles, okay? So there's lots and lots of resistance. Or support. They found a lot of support down here at the bottom. If I go to the 4-hour, as we do look, folks, we have been on an uptrend down here. We went up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. We came up, down, up, down, up. And then we had a big pullback to maybe come down, grab liquidity. Let me see what's going over here, far right. Because it normally comes down and grabs liquidity for a reason. Okay, so there was the bottom of that one there. So what I'm thinking, folks, is we came down below these two candles here, which probably most people would say, let's set our stops here. And this wick moved down below it, and it would have taken them out down here. Okay, so a possibility we could be going back up. Let me see what the dollar's doing. So a dollar, as we can see, it is kind of it's an uptrend, folks. But we're facing again lots of resistance up here at the top. So possibility we could break this line, and it could give us our trades on the euro or the USD. Folks, it doesn't actually mean, you know, when the dollar's doing one thing, these pairs mightn't actually go with the dollar. So we just got to be careful, okay? It doesn't mean, say, the dollar's tanking, whatever's on the other side, it's going to be going up. Double check everything, your lines, support, resistance, okay? That's so important. And yeah, folks, it might take 20 minutes, half an hour here, but we will get our trade in here. When it comes into this corner, it might break out before, and we will get our entry. Let's go down to the lower time frame. Folks, if I was just thinking, if I was going to do a sell here, it has to come down here and break this line. I won't enter a sell up here because it's come up and it's got close to the trend line. People will, but I'd rather have, you know, to come down. We've got good down pressure. We're staying below the trend line, and there is support here along this line the whole way across. If I bring this line, okay, so there would be our entry. Because folks, if it breaks through this line, it means it's taking out all these levels of support. Okay, so if we break through these lines here, we could come down here, folks. We could. There is every possibility that we could drop.
What was that number on the entry?
Sorry, Robert, I'm just going over here. So there we go. 1.07896. That would be for a sale.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm just going to double check this, folks. I just want to keep looking at my lines. Again, it's broke through this line. I just don't think there's enough in it to get up here. I can't see it. I think we'll have our pullback before we get up there. We could have possibility the entry here. I know it's a larger stop loss, but if we have the correct lot size, folks, this here shouldn't risk no more than 1% of your account. Okay. I have this line here for a reason, folks. I'm going to enter this trade here. Okay, I'm going to draw my lines. Bear with me, and we're going to use a small lot size because we could be on this trade for a little while. Okay, so just bear with me now till I set everything up. So just bear with me here now. I want to be sure I'm at the right. No, I need to move this up a little bit. One second. So folks, this is where I'm going to enter a sell on the DAX here. Okay, so we're actually on the trade now. Okay, I've just put it on my phone here and for a sale. And keep the lot size, folks, small, okay? Because this is where our stop loss. We do want to give it room to breathe, but I don't think we're going to get up here. Our tick profits, we could be in this area here. I'll put in a little marker. Okay, so folks, that's what I wanted to see. We're getting a bit of a rejection here. Let me put on that line. Okay, so that was the entry there. Okay, the entry for the sale. So folks, this trade is still going when we're on the call here. I'll keep people up to date in the chat. Okay, so we've entered entry here. Okay, so that is a sale. I'm trying to figure out, folks, if we do come down here, let's just say if we hit this or stop loss. I've just called a trade, folks, on the DAX. I haven't called a trade on anything else. I've just called a sale on the DAX. Okay. I'm just doing markings here, so I haven't called any trade. This folks, this is just, I don't think this will do anything till we get into this corner. This has happened to me so many times. So I just wait. Might take an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. It'll get on here and then it'll make its move. Okay. I'm expecting, if we do look at the charts, you know, down, up, down, retrace, and down. Okay. So they're going to go up or go down. Okay. And we'll go down to the 15 minutes. Okay, so folks, we've got a little, we're in a slight profit here at the minute, but this trade could run for a little longer than what we're normally used to. But yeah, so we have our stop loss, we have our entry at 1667578 and around that area. Our stop loss will be in at 16752. Okay. Folks, it's a possibility it might come into this area. It might. I just don't think it has the push to go up this far. Again, it's the markets. They're not going to listen to me, folks. All I can do is go by my strategies and all my lines, and that's how I work day by day. And so far, folks, it has been working very, very well. Most importantly, folks, if you are trading on the side, cut your losers short, folks. If the trade's going against you, don't add another trade to it, to loser, to another. If one trade's going against you, just let the trade go. You know, then you might lose max 1%. If you add another trade to a loser, that means you're going to get to the 1% a lot quicker. Before you know it, you've added a third, and before you know it, now you're at 3, 4, 5% loss with 3 trades. If you would have stayed to one trade, you might only have a 1.5% loss. Okay, one trade, folks, is plenty. If you've got a lovely runner and it's running your way, why aren't you adding a winner to a winner? We're happy to add losers to losers. So that's one that I've learned. But I like to see folks on the 30 minutes, you know, we're all the same. I think there's some beginners, you know, maybe intermediate, more advanced traders. When you go on maybe 30-minute and the hour, and if you get a big rejection maybe on the 30-minute and the hour, it means there's a lot of pressure. The bears are starting to push back up here. So if we can get a big bit of push, which you like to see, and that's on the 30-minute. So on the lower time frames, if you see a push back, folks, I really don't pay any hate to it. It's got to be 30 minutes or an hour or higher. Okay, folks, I'm pretty sure most of us get in that level there, max. Okay, so that trade is sitting in a little bit of profit. I'm going to let this run, folks, honestly, because I feel there's a lot here to go. Folks, we might only get one trade today. I don't want to call two unless I am absolutely certain. But the DAX, I'm happy with it to go in on a sell at this level, okay? Because we're at an all-time high. And so, yeah. And I've checked the RSI markers. I've checked my pivots. I've checked my own lines. So I'm kind of going on this on at least 2 confirmations out of the 3 that I normally want. And when I get my 3 confirmations out of 3 on my own trades, folks, it's like yourself if you're looking at the markets and you go, well, this is definitely going to sell or it's definitely going to buy. You do tend to go that little bit heavier. But make sure if you go heavier on your trade, that stop loss, make it be super tight, okay? Also, folks, this pivot's traditional, and I use the fair value gap. Possibility, this might come on here just to grab a little bit of this before moving down. A little bit of liquidity on here. If we look over to the left, as you can see, this just box doesn't pop up and guess it's lying, it's looking left. Okay, so there is liquidity over here. Maybe come up, come into it, test it, and push back down. Okay, that's what them boxes are there for. And there's lots of boxes here, folks, lots of fair value gaps. So what I like to see when we drop, it's the more that we just break through, continue to break through. Where am I looking at, folks? To maybe if we can get a pullback down into this area here. Okay, this is where I'm looking at. Consolidate over here and then go down again. Okay, so hopefully we've hit up here our highest. We're going to start pushing back down, come down to this level here, maybe go up, maybe come down, create likes of a head and shoulders, like we've gone up, we've gone down, we've gone up. So now if we come over here and we come down just to say to this level, maybe push back up to this level, push back down, before then we have our drop. This is what I'm seeing in my head. Everybody's different.
What was your stop on that one again, if you would, please? On
All right,
DAX?
here we go. 16752. Folks, this, as it says, folks, I'll keep everybody up to date in the group chat with this trade here. It's going to run on here to the corner, and it will go one way. The euro, if I go to the hour, there's fair value gap here. There's more up here. If we did break this line, folks, let's just say we broke through here with good pressure, we could come up to either this one here, fair value gap, or the next one. Grab liquidity, take out the sellers at a higher level before we continue to drop. To me, that's the way the institutional traders look. That's the way they look at it. Where are we sitting? Where is the day trader sitting with our stop losses? And they just want to come above us a little bit, take us all out. And then before we know it, we're all taken out, and then they push the markets their way. So that is on the hour. Folks, if we get this trade to drop to here, we will pull that stop loss down tight, okay, because we're not going to lose profit. That's me. So if we can get a nice drop down to this area, we will take our stop loss down into our entry, okay? So we'll watch that carefully. And I'm just switching through trades here, folks. Don't worry. Like you could enter here, folks. You know, when you got the rejection, we got the push up. You could have entered here. We came down. We touched the line. We went back up. You could make a little profit, tight stop losses. But can you imagine, folks, we get over here and we break this line, we could get down to this level here. So we could, if we can get an entry up here, we could come down here, folks, with a big fall. So that's what I'm waiting for, the big move, the big drop or push up. So folks, I will just sit in the background and monitor these trades. I don't know if we entered this, if money entered it, but we entered it, just say here, at 16673. So we have, yeah, we're in profit, okay. And the euro, it's, folks, these other two aren't giving me my trades, okay. I want to see what the dollars do. Give me 30 minutes. The trend line. Folks, it's just like, I know it's just the dollar, but as you can see, it came down into the fair value gap, got its, just say this liquidity, and say they're going to go up or it's going to continue to come down, okay? So what we did here, we probably come in, we grab liquidity, we're going to start pushing up and maybe break up to the high. As you can see here, we broke through it, we came up, we came down, we came up, and again, we come down into the fair value gap. As you can see, we came in and then we pushed back up. So that's the only two indicators I use. Folks, most indicators we all know they do lag. They might give you buy or sell, but it's probably a second or 2 seconds late. And it's vital that you get in your trade execution as quick as possible. So that's still dropping slowly. Folks, not, this isn't playing out. No, we're going to have to be patient, folks. I've called the one trade on the German 30, which is called the DAX DE40. Depends on what broker you're using. If you're not too sure, folks, put it under the chat here and somebody on the call might be able to help you out on depending on what broker. Folks, we're just going to let this sit and run in the background. I'll keep everybody up to date what is happening, and I will hand it back over to Robert. And if I have another trade idea, folks, I'll screenshot it and I will put it into the group chat, okay? But I'll watch in the background and I'll take a screenshot with our entry, our stop loss, and our take profits, and I will enter it into the group. But this, we're just going to have to let it do its thing now. You know what I mean? The market isn't going to listen to us. It's just going to do whether it's going to go up and it's going to go down, okay? Okay, folks, so I'm going to stop screen share. Has anybody got any questions, folks, at all? I will be watching the trade in the background and I will keep you updated in the chat. And if I have another trade idea, I will put it into the traders signal group as well, okay? But one trade, folks, you know, if you go into 2 trades, you're putting more at risk. So if I can get 1 call a day, it's good, okay?
All right. Let me see here. Where can we start?
So Ben, are you an ICT enthusiast? Robert, can you go into more detail on that? Because I'm not too sure.
I confess, I don't. What is ICT?
Ben, can you unmute? What do you mean? And we can try and answer if we can. It's a trade method. I think that's that inner circle trend. Am I correct? I think I've seen this somewhere before. I've heard of it. Yep, I know now where it's coming from. Ben, I just come up with, as it says, a strategy that I've been working with for quite a while. I use 2 indicators. I use my trend lines, support, resistance, and I always look for maybe 2 or 3 confirmations. The fair value gap, right. I've only started to use the fair value gap in the last couple of weeks and getting more and more, watching more and more videos, getting educated on it, but it's key. That fair value gap, it's there. It doesn't lag. Tomorrow there's going to be fair value gaps. They're going to be new. They're not going to be in the same place. The fair value gaps, they just go day by day, depending on where the market moves. Those fair value gaps appear. Whether we're going up or going down. And once they're filled and we break through, they disappear. No problem, Ben. No problem. I'll hand over to you, Robert.
Okay. Give me just a minute here. Okay. One of the things I wanted to try to do each time we do this, excuse me, is go through how you figure out position sizes. And this is one of the most challenging things for traders ongoing, but especially somebody new that is unfamiliar with the process of position size. And what are the 3 things that go into the position size as far as being able to have the basics? What are the elements of the position size? Well, the first thing is, what instrument are you on? Right now on this demo account, I'm on the euro. Do you trade the euro position size the same as the DAX? What do you think? Or the USD JPY? Those are all different instruments, and they all, as a result, are different position sizes. Also, how much money do you have in your account? Plays a big role in what your position size is. There's a most critical parameter, which is what is the risk you're willing to take on a given trade? If you lose, what are you going to lose? This calculator that I'm going to show you has a 1% risk. So we've got really 4 parameters. One is the risk percentage, and I'll show you this is a default of 1%. And then you can adjust accordingly to your liking. You could make it 1/4%, 0.5%, 2%, 1%, whatever you want. That's up to you and very subjective. But, what are you willing to lose is a very good question to ask when trading on any trade. Yes, the profit is great, but always, what I've learned over time is look at your potential downside, look at your risk. Risk mitigation is critical. So what percentage are you willing to lose? Number 2, what instrument are you trading? Number 3, what broker are you on? depending on the instrument, brokers vary a great deal in the relative position size. As an example, on the US 30, which I'm very familiar with, much more familiar with than the DAX, if you use Robo Forex, you would have a 1 lot on 8 cap, a 0.1, and on some of the other brokers like Envy or FXY, you'd have a 0.01. Those all would equate to the same thing, which is $1 per index point. What? Wait a minute, 0.01, 0.11. Why? Because their contract sizes are different between the different brokers. So this is the stuff, when you're new, that's a lot of stuff, right? There's a lot of different parameters. Then the final one again is the amount of money you have in the account. The nice thing with this calculator, and I'm going to make a slide for that, what I just said, because I want to make this point more clearly in the future. 4 points on position size calculator. Okay. So here we have this little guy right here. You see it up in the upper left-hand corner. I'm going to get this to you right now on a link in chat. Tools, position size. And this is an ultra simple one. It's perfect for beginners. And we have a more advanced one that we'll be bringing out in due time, as we have people that are more experienced and want to do multiple position sizes at once. But right now, we're just going to start with one. So this calculator is available on MT4 and MT5 on your computer, not on the phone. But let's say, for the sake of discussion, let me put Robert on the spot here. Here we are on the euro. Here's price action. Give me a call, short or long.
Let's do a long.
Let's do a long. All right. So I'm going to click long right here on my position size calculator in the upper left-hand corner. Click. And notice what pops up right away. It finds the most. So in a long, our stop loss would be below our entry, which is right here. In red is the stop loss. It finds the most recent swing low. So at this swing low on a $10,000 account on the euro, and this is MetaQuote's demo, but different instruments vary. Different brokers, depending on which instrument you're using, will vary. This makes it super simple. If you use this stop to have a 1% risk, you'd have a 1.79 lot size. How cool is that? Don't even have to think about it. There it is. I think that the stop should be down here. I think I want to give it a little more breathing room. You've heard that expression. Look at what happened to your lot size. You take more risk as far as the relative distance, the lot size decreases to keep your risk at 1%. $100 is your potential loss here. And again, in a $10,000 account, what is 1%? $100. But the dynamic element is the relative size of the position that you're trading, your lot size. Okay, this is hard stuff when you're new, because people will come and say, well, I trade a 0.1 on everything. Really? Yikes. That's not the appropriate way to determine position sizes, or 0.01 or whatever the number. Here, you're making it a lot more on the basis of the risk that you're taking, where that risk is. The red line is the risk. The green line up here is the take profit. I submit the most important one to pay attention to is this one. Yes, you want the take profit. Of course, we all do. But how much are you willing to lose? And what is the relative position size, the lot size that you would put in order to, if you wanted to give it more breathing room, like let's say I wanted to come clear down here, look at how much my lot size has dropped. Okay, it's dropped a whole lot. That's because the position size, Robert touched on this earlier, trade with a small position size. This is how you can get there, guys. If so I just did a long here. Let's take a look at the USD JPY just for grins. I'm gonna do the other direction on this one just because. So this is not a trade call at all. This is not a signal. This is just showing you the mechanics of how the calculator works. So I'm going to do a short. Finds the swing high. This is a little bit too tight right here. So I could, if I were super confident in this trade, I could trade a big fat position size, but that's pretty tight. So I think I'm going to move this up because it's always finding the swing either high or low depending on the direction you're going. In other words, let me do this again. So right now, this is the most recent swing high. Okay. So when I go short, the stop is going to land right there. Okay. As it did. It's going to default to the most recent swing high. Although the most recent swing high, that's not giving it a lot of breathing room. You could have a big fat lot size, but if it hits your stop, that's no fun. Let's move the stop up here and give it a little more breathing room. Look at what happened to our position size. It dropped way down. Okay, way down. It's 1/3 of what it was just by moving the stop up here. Is this probably a safer trade? Well, perhaps. Certainly, if you put it right here, you're going to have a pretty high probability that it'll stop out. This is lower probability and therefore lower lot size. Same amount of risk. I'm losing $100 if I fail on this trade. Okay, because it's maintaining whatever that number is that you've defined as your risk parameter and showing you how much your lot size has to be in relationship to keeping that risk at $100, 1%. Any questions on this? Don't be shy here, guys. There are no dumb questions. There are no stupid questions. We will dignify and honor every question, because if this is sounding like Greek to you and you're not from Greece, ask the question. Somebody else probably has the same question. Beantown, I got to know, Bruce, is that like, you're from Boston? Yes. All right. Well, you go to the Packy and go park the car. Get some lobsters. I went to school in Massachusetts and have some very dear friends there. So we'll have to have that conversation later. This is, yes, lobster. In fact, I have a very dear friend in York, Maine, and I like visiting him because it's a beautiful part of the world in the summer. In the winter, y'all can have it. So here is a dynamic thing, which is a tool that gives you the ability to be able to not be arbitrary with your lot size. And it's visual. See, I can say, well, no, I think it really should be all the way up here. Look at what happened to the lot size. It went way down. Okay, as it should, because you're giving it more breathing room, but you don't want to get clobbered if it hits it. It is only going to be a 1% hit. If you define it at 3/4 of a point for your parameter, you can do it that way. You can do whatever you want to do, but it sure makes it a lot easier to make good decisions about your relative amount of risk, and your lot size is your risk and where your stop is. Okay. I submit this is the most important thing. Yes, the trade entry is important. I get that. But if you have an entry that's a good entry, then how much are you going to get hurt if it goes against you? It's always an important consideration. So any questions before we move on to other material?
Robert, I'm just working in the background there. I know you did ask about the Euro trade. It did go into its entry position. I just checked it there now. I know you did ask for the entry on the Euro trade, the USD, and it's kicked into.
I was only for purpose of testing, but you're saying
that trade, that entry was good, and it's just flicking through here, and it's gone into profit. The entry was in the right position, and it's gone into profit. I'm looking at. Do
you want to share your chart?
Yeah, I can show you what happened, folks, because this is what I'm at the background here. There's another trade that I'm working on, and I will share it in the group a couple of minutes earlier. So our entry, I want to bring it in a little bit. This was our entry line here. Okay, so this would have been the entry, and it did drop. Should have been trade we get into, but I'm looking at the USJPY. I will put this under the group, folks. As it says, this will be my entry for a sale here. Okay, I'm going to put this all into the group, so then when it hits that line, I'm going to go on to the 15-minute. No, if it kicks up, I'll redo my lines, but I'm thinking we're still going to go in, up and down, and that's my entry there for the sale. That's where my stop loss will be. This is where my take profits will be. But I say, folks, if we break up, I will redo my lines for entry for a buy. So this one I've all marked, so I can enter it into the group.
if you would, please read out the number on those, because that way people listening can hear it, and they may not be looking at the chart, but to hear the actual entry number, I think would be very helpful on these calls.
Okay, so the entry will be 147.002.
Thank
So
you.
really 147. Yeah. Okay, this isn't an entry, folks. I will call it in the group. I will say this is a sell or a buy, and the entry will be the blue line. The red will be the stop loss, and I've it all color coded. The green will be take profits. Okay, so I'll do a little thing on my. When I say below this is a sell, I'll tell you what each line means. Okay, so the blue will be entry, the red will be the stop loss, and the green will be the take profit. Okay, so I'll do a little chart on this all done up so everybody understands. I'm just checking this till we see. Okay, this might kick back up, folks, but it says it just went into a little bit of profit. This one I will get ready in the background and I'll put it into the group. Okay, but this will only be entered on a sale. Okay, I'll do this up now. I'll work on it in the background and I'll put it into the group. Thank you, Robert.
And you're talking about the signal group when you say into the group, is that right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let me find my trading view here. This is one of those things that you stumble on now and then, and I did listening to a call yesterday. It was just kind of an accidental find. I added a new what do they call these? A new section for our signals that come in from Manifest Capital.com. They are using that one on occasion on US 30. I don't know why he uses different signals, but he does. So now we're ready. What I want to do, I'll go here to the DAX just to keep an eye on it. We are in a DAX trade. In fact, I'll go to the one up here, which is the 8-cap feed. Now, what I want to show you is you have the ability to trade directly on the charts. And you have the ability to open broker accounts. Now, broker accounts are somewhat limited that you can get as far as being able to be integrated with TradingView. Right here, you're going to see one that is, let me get down there. Where are our, right here. What I'm looking for is the list of these. I think what I'm going to do, trying to figure out, I'm new to this, so this is me learning how I learn. What you're going to see when you come in here the first time in this section down here, and you go to, yeah, no, it disappeared completely. Let me see here. Hoping I can get that back. Nope. There's a section down at the bottom that is the trading panel, and I'm struggling here to find what I wanted to show you. And in the trading panel, you have the brokers that are integrated potentially with TradingView, meaning if you have an account with them. One of the ones that you can use is called paper trading. And paper trading is, as it sounds, it is the ability to be able to do demo trading directly on TradingView, which is pretty cool. So you can take trades on there and you can play around with the position sizes. Over here to the left is my position size in this case, or my trading panel where I can put in the take profit, the stop loss, and so forth. I can do a buy or a sell right here. There you go. It's all right there. So I'm going to play around with this for a minute. Robert, if you could take back over for a minute, I'm going to see if I can get organized and make this work and not be fumbling around as much as I am at the moment. Oh, you're muted, bud.
Okay, no problem at all. I'm just in the background, folks. I'm marking up charts. I'm watching the USD JPY. The DAX has gone up a little bit, which as I did expect it, so it's not worrying me at all, because we have our stop loss up, and we will have, as what it says, a nice small lot size, and the max we will lose, folks, is 1%. Okay, and maybe going through the days, the weeks ahead, you know, depending on different accounts, you know, what kind of lot size would you use on the DAX, you know, USD JPY. It's very important because every broker will be different. Okay, I could be trading the DAX on $1,000 account on 0.10. You could be on a different broker. The lot size could be completely different. Okay, what I would say, folks, is do it on a demo for the first week, 2 weeks, till you know the correct lot sizes. And then if you're a good trader like myself, if I trade a new instrument, folks, I always trade it on my demo. Okay, because I don't know what lot size is correct. And then when I'm familiar with it, then I can do my trades on my live account. Even as a good trader, I know my lot sizes, but I always do a new Forex pair, a new index. I always do it on my demo account. So then when you go onto your live, you'll know exactly what's going on. Okay. Again, folks, as it says, like we were watching it here, it came up, it came back down, it came up. I'm expecting it to come right under this corner and here and then make its move. I'm going to have the entry here for a sale. The entry will be here. If it comes in here and it breaks my trend line, people say, why aren't you entering it here? You're waiting till it gets down here. I want it to break here first because there's lots of support here, 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 and in the middle. So there's lots of support. So if we can break through this line here, we break down. I can't see no reason why it can come down here and test this previous low. So stop loss, as it says, it's nice and tight up here at the top. And risk to reward, folks, you know, the stop loss is tight and we have a bigger reward, you know, when it goes down here. Okay. A good trade is like, if you have a trade, let's say if my take profits was up here where my little cross is here in the middle, the plus, that means that if the trade goes for us, we're going to win a little bit, but if the trade goes against us, we're going to lose more. Okay. I always try and look at a trade at least to make it a 1-to-1 ratio, if not 1-to-2. So it means like we're going to lose 1% max, we're going to gain 2%. You know, a better outcome, 1-to-3, we're going to lose 1%. If it goes our way, we get 3%. So that's what I'm looking at. I will put this entry into the traders group. The DAX did go up, folks, as what I says, and it's pushing really well up. It is getting close. This is just so far up. When this tanks, it's going to be an incredible drop, folks. There's no doubt about it. This was this morning's, the 6th. This was at 9 o'clock. And this was it Wednesday the 6th. This was at 9:45. And there's absolutely no retrace at all. Okay, folks, this, you know, if it was normal charts, you know, now they run up to Christmas, market manipulation. Okay, this is you seeing it at its best. Absolutely no retrace at all. Normally in the DAX, this is 16,554. We're up now at 16726. You would always get a retrace. Okay, a small retrace. If we go to the 4 hours, look at the size of the candles. This, I've traded the DAX, folks, for a year. I don't see candles like that. There's like, this is going right from the bottom. Okay, so we started down here on the 30th of October, which was 14610. We came up, we had a small, I wouldn't really call it a retrace, it was just indecisive. It moved up, no pullback. There's none, folks, absolutely not. So we're going to get in here at a sweet trade. If we have a loss today, folks, we're going to have a less than 1% trade loss. we will get in here. Okay, we're going to get in here on a sale. And I won't come out of it, okay, because there's one way this is going to go, okay? It's pushed up and up and up and up. It's going to run out of steam. Everything runs out. What goes up, folks, it will come down. There's no question about it. Okay, as you can see, we've got fair value gaps. They're all forming now below. Folks, these has to be filled. Okay, they have to be. You could come down. Once we break through this one, for an example, we break into this one disappears. If we broke through here, this one will disappear. And then you'll start getting the red ones on the other side. Like, I'll be very, very surprised, I'll be honest, if we get to that level. Because I just want to go to higher time frames because we have a black line here. So we've got a monthly and we have a daily. Okay, so we've got the two of them side by side. We've got a weekly. So we have, let's just say we have the daily candle here now. What we would want is a big push on that daily candle. Push it right back down. Let me go back to the 4-hour. We're getting a rejection at this level now. The hour, okay. 30 minutes, we've got red. We've got 15 minutes, we've got red. We've got 5 minutes, we have red. We just started. So hopefully this is it, folks. We get our push back. It's like before, you know, normally what I'd have done, folks, 6-7 months ago, let's say I would have done my trade entry here. I'd have been another one here, another one there. No, don't do that, folks, because that's just, you know, you're just plotting trades that's going against you. Put in one trade, put in your stop loss. If it hits it, that's that trade, and don't attach any emotions to it. You know, only I know there's a lot of resistance here, and I'm fairly confident, folks, I am, that we will get a push down. If I was in a normal trade, my stop loss was up here, and I normally have a line in the middle somewhere. I always do. And if it breaks my line, I know it's going to my stop loss, so I just take out my trade early. So I have a little small loss. Instead of have a 1% loss, I'll have a 0.5, okay? So that means I could have 3 or 4 trades in the day, and folks, all I need is one trade to go with me and get maybe 2%. If I lose 3 or 4 trades, the max I'm going to lose is 1.5 to 2%. Okay. When you have a losing day, always give yourself not a big loss. Because then what you do the next day is you're going to go on, you're going to revenge trade. Your lot size is going to increase. Everything's going to change. Your emotions. Don't do it, folks. If you start listening, you know, reading the books, Best Loser Ones by Tom Hugard, read that book and read it and read it. Because my trading has improved. I did a 16-day one and run. I couldn't believe it because 6 months ago, I could barely get 2 days back to back. And then the next day, I would give it back to the markets. Now it's like maybe 2-3%. That's a bad day to me, 2 or 3% of a loss. I've just got careful, good risk management, and follow my strategy. Okay. Robert, I can hand it back if you're ready.
I am not.
Oh, wow.
I am wrestling with this thing, and it's brand new to me, but it's something that I'll get my hands around. I did this last night late, found it and was playing around with it, but I've managed to turn it off, and now I'm having a difficult time turning it back on. So
okay.
let me see.
Stop sharing again.
Yeah, if you can keep on, I may be able to find it while I wrestle around here with it. I may or may not, but we'll, you know, by tomorrow I will have it straightened out.
Yeah, no problem. Folks, you'll probably be thinking, you know, just a few wee things here in TradingView. Robert is great. He has, what I tried to do, folks, was Robert had something on his watch list over here. I can't get it on my free version. So if I've got paid, I can have the price free, you know, the brokers that's on here above my symbols. So I need to upgrade, which I'm going to be doing. That's something I can do. If you want to delete, folks, you come in at the start, you have a whole list of stuff over here. And I mean loads and loads of Forex pairs, indexes, everything. Little X there at the side. Whatever one you want to get rid of, you just hit the X. If you want to add something, you add the symbol here up at the top. Let's just say you wanted to add gold. We're just doing it for an example. XAU, USD. And then you have all your different price feeds. Pepperstone, 8-cap, Black Bull. Let's just say I want to pick 8-cap. We click. And there we go. Okay, folks, we have it in there. And another thing is, while I'm here, let's just say I have a white background. Robert has the black one. So some people rather the black. It's not a sore in their eyes. Up here where it says logged in as Irish Pride, if you click, you can click here and do the dark mode. Okay. And just click back for the other one. And another little thing, what I'm doing here, you'll probably see in the background, the USD JPY. It's like the watermark. You're thinking, yep, that's handy. You know what pair you're on, and you know exactly the time frame. So if you go up here, folks, to the little chart settings, this is where everything is. You know, if you want to footer about with it, that's the best way, folks. Go in and footer with it. You know, do all these different settings. So here we have the little tick beside the watermark. This is under canvas. Okay, so you need to be on canvas. Click on watermark. If I click on the watermark and press OK, as you can see, it disappears in the background. And again, I just want to go up to the chart settings, canvas, click on the watermark, press OK. And as you can see then, it coming in the background. Another little helpful thing, you can see I have my little menu bar here with the little symbols that I use, and I have my time frames here. If you want to have your selected time frames, the little drop down arrow here, if you click, whatever time frame you like, just click on the little star and it will add it to your favorites. You can see up here, folks, the 5 minutes is there. If I click on the star, it disappears. Okay, so whatever time frames you have, just put in the little stars and it shows it up here. And I have my trend line, horizontal line, and my horizontal ray. Again, we just go over here and we find them. Again, just put it on the star, and this goes to your favorites, and it adds it into your little menu bar. Because if you're busy, folks, you know, you're doing your marks, you're doing your settings, you don't want to be coming over here and looking for everything. So if you have it all in front of you, it means you can work quicker, okay, and more efficient. So you're not getting a little bit lost in your own screen. So there's a few little tips that I be using when I'm using TradingView. Okay, I hope that helped. Just going to check on the DAX, and you can see, folks, it did go up here. You know what I mean? This is why our stop loss is up at that level, and we're seeing another pushback here. We will get our retrace, and folks, I'm expecting it to come down here into this level, down to touch. I can show you my trend line. Let's go to the 4 hour. I'll go to the hour. And I'll bring this down. And so there is my trend line. I want to unlock it. I want to move it up there, and I'm going to lock it up. So if we get a retrace, I do expect it to come back and touch my trend line. It's quite a drop. And then if it hits my trend line and it breaks through, we will come down. As you can say, folks, this could be, we're just thinking, this could be our number, this for first shoulder, head and shoulders, and then we come up. We've gone to a big high. We came back down to here. Let's just say then we go over, back, over here, and then another big drop. So if we see our drop now coming down, it should continue to come down here. But again, folks, it's the markets. So we just sit, wait, be patient, and we'll have our stop losses in place.
The wrestling match is over. Okay, let me show you down at the bottom here. Let me get this on the screen. Sometimes it takes longer than others. This has a lot of stuff on it. So if you're daunted by TradingView, I'm generally fairly capable technically. I ought to be. I've been doing computer stuff for almost 40 years. But you know what? Here we were, stumped. And I'm like, ugh. You know what I did to get the tool back? I went to a different instrument. In this case, I went to US 30. And I'll show you what I saw down here. Let's go to the euro. Well, now it's behaving, but see these little guys right here? That one was missing from the other chart, which is maximize panel. This is a panel. Think of it like a pane on a window. The chart is a panel. This is a panel, just for get the lexicon of TradingView terms right. Now, you see over here, I am paper trading. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want to see the brokers list right here. The brokers list will then give me all of the different brokers that are able to be integrated with TradingView. So for instance, I have 2 of these with actual accounts because my wife is a dual citizen. We can get accounts with her credentials that I can't get as a US citizen. So there is that. One of the choices, these 2 are fine brokers. Oanda, if you're in a place that you can get Oanda, a lot of people like Oanda. And that you can get the whole list right here, explore supported. But what I want to draw your attention to is right over here, paper trading. Okay, paper trading is the one that I'm logged into right now. And think of paper trading like a demo account. It is. So you can trade demo, and you can figure out how to. Let me get rid of that. Now let's see if I can get back. See, I can't get back again now until I figure out to do that. There we are. See all brokers. There's a lot of choices in here, but this now I'm on my IP address in the US, so it's limiting the choices here to some degree because of my US IP address. Let me get out of here now. Okay, there we're back, sort of. Expand this up. I want just the trading panel. Come on. See, I'm still wrestling. This is how I learn, though. I figure out what I don't know and then try to wrestle with it until I do know it.
So, Robert, I'm following along here, but didn't you say, so if we're coming from the US, there are not any brokers, even though they're showing in the panel, there's no brokers that we can use?
None that I'm aware of. And I may, they may exist out there, ones that do work that US citizens can get. But if you're getting a broker on here that is available to US citizens, it's probably a regulated broker, like really no kidding regulated in the US, which means it's got real limitations like 1 to 50 leverage, no hedging, etc.
1099, everything.
Sorry?
Yeah, plus they 1099 you too.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that if they gave me features.
Yeah.
No problem. It's just the feature set is so anemic that I'm just don't like it. And the ones that are available to US citizens that do have the feature set don't tend to be on TradingView because I think they're very selective about who they allow in. The 8cap, Black Bull, forex.com, there's crypto exchanges, Oanda, all of these are straight up like high quality brokers. The other thing I discovered, I'm exploring some stuff with futures at the moment. And there are some things in here that are useful if somebody's doing that do, by the way, this was an aha, that do have the ability with binary options and with futures to have CFDs available for Americans. So that got my attention. More on that later. But there are some like AMP and TradeStation and Nadex is another one that is in here potentially. So that's kind of an exciting development, at least for me. VPN, I'm not really crazy about because they leak. And In other words, if you use a VPN, it can drop. That's called a VPN link. I like VPSs, which they're much more stable. They're a little bit more expensive, but I'm fond of I have, in fact, 3 VPSs that are on as we speak. One for London, one for Tokyo, and one for New York. I'm still wrestling here, guys. I'm not getting what I want to see here. And what I want to do is now get rid of this. Let's see. No. This is good. You'll see. Okay, we've got it back down there. How the devil did we get rid of this thing? No. More later. It'll have to be more wrestling. I did manage to get the trading panel back. I did show you the broker availability, and you can look at that. The paper trading, for those of you that do have the ability, and that's a fair number of people on our calls that are in Europe or other places in the world where you do have access to these brokers, use the paper trading first. It's the Trading View version of a demo account, and it's built in, and it's got some pretty cool features. In other words, you can look at position sizes, the stop, the take profit, and be able to use a position size calculator, which I'm a fan of. I'm evaluating one. There were several I was looking at, and one has kind of made the short list. But I'm new to TradingView. I'm much more experienced on MT4, especially getting experienced on MT5. MT4 I can generally get around pretty well. And rarely get stumped, but I'm stumped at the moment on how to get what I want here. So I don't want to, burden you with just me poking around. So, Mr. Russell, I'm going to toss the porcupine back to you.
I think we have somebody raised their hand.
Yeah, that's me. Hey, Robert Russell, on your chart, is this, oh, I see it. Never mind. It's a 1 hour chart on that entry.
Yes. I just put into the traders group. Don't do the entry till we hit the actual blue line.
Yeah.
Then we do our sell. As it says, I described everything. The blue is entry, the red is the stop loss, and the green is our take profit. So that entry will be at 147. Okay, it's like 002, but 147 on the USD JPY for a sell. I just put it in the group there, the traders group. Folks, I'm trying to think. The DAX, as it says, it's gone up a wee bit above our entry. I'm not worried because I'm expecting a nice pullback. We could be in the trade for the rest of the day. This could be a slow burner, but I am expecting the DAX to tank this week. If we have followed correct instructions, folks, a small lot size, because we did give it extra room to breathe at the top, and I'll keep everybody updated as well in the group. So yeah, I'll keep everybody updated what's happening with the DAX. Folks, if you are in Manifest, if you're a member, or if you're big into crypto, we have got a call tonight at 8 o'clock. Try your best and attend. There's going to be lots of information given on this call. We have our crypto educator on board. This is especially for the members of Manifest. That's 8 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. Eastern, and I think it's 12 o'clock, Robert, for yourself. Okay, so that's happening in about 4.5 hours time. So that's a call that I will definitely be getting on, and we will put more.
And there's so many things like that, guys, that are value add with Manifest that, we've just been focused on the trading signals and the trading education, but there's a lot more to the offering. And there's this information on crypto. There's just some really, really great information, and the people that they have in those seats providing that education are very accomplished. So I encourage everybody to take advantage of the offer that is here. When you look at, just to revisit this for a moment in the interest of redundancy, let me get it on the screen here. Here we go. So, whoops. This is the flyer we're using for the December promotion. Somebody can come in here with us for free in December, which is a pretty hard price to beat. And it allows them to get a sense of what we're up to, for 2 hours, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Sometimes we'll cut it short if we don't need to continue. If there's questions or technology that we want to take a look at and try to get refined and help people understand it, we'll do that. We'll stick around for the full 2 hours. But this again is free. In January, if somebody wants to be here, they need to be a paid customer of Manifest. Speaking of which, we were going to be doing this anyway. We decided to do this, and then Manifest, surprise, surprise, came out with a promotion of their own, which is extraordinary. It's a really, really compelling promotion, which is you pay $20 as a customer right now. You get full access to everything in Manifest. And then in January, so if you sign up today on December 6th, your first billing in Manifest would be January 6th, and then you would be at the regular price of $99. If you want, that's for a Platinum customer. If you want to be a Platinum customer, an IBO, meaning an affiliate or a business builder, just add $20. So you have a total of $40. And then on your anniversary date in January, it goes to $119. It's $20 more per month. And what an extraordinary offer, because you get all the goodies that Manifest has, which are really, really compelling. The signals are good. The gold signal, specifically the gold instrument, was like 85% win rate. I mean, wow, huge number of pips just on gold. And the same trader has very good results with US 30, with S&P 500. He actually added a pound yen trade in there, which was kind of a surprise to us. The other trader that is trading, Ronaldo, who is trading Forex pairs, he trades less frequently, but his hit rate is extraordinary. We think it's like at 90% or thereabouts. So you get access to all that. You get access to the education there that's trading education. You get access to the crypto education if you're into crypto. A lot of content, a lot of compelling material that you have access to. Bring guests, even if they say, I don't know if I want to reach for my wallet just yet, bring them in here, and they'll see what we provide. I submit that what we provide by itself is worth the $99. I hope that we deliver the goods to the degree that people say, yep, just you guys are worth that. And you get Manifest, that's why we're really trying to beat the tom-toms to get guests in here, and it's growing. But if we get everybody invite people. If you're in the Manifest business and you're a builder, what better way to get your business kicked off than to bring guests here and say, hey, kick the tires with me. Take a look at this. You may or may not be interested in it, but if you like the way these guys roll, this is representative of what you're going to get in Manifest as well. So they can test the water for free. Then, if they choose to, it's $20. Where can you go in the US, by the way, with you and your significant other at fast food and spend less than $20? Give this some context. It's pretty compelling offer. So I have done my affiliate duty, Mr. Russell.
Yep. Guys, as it says, we'll be back tomorrow, but I will keep you up to date in the group chat. The DAX trade, as it says, it's a little bit above our entry. But as it says, guys, keep that lot size low, as what I says on the DAX, because it says we weren't going to risk no more than 1%, even though we're stopped out. It's a 1% trade. But we will get our entry, folks. I'm telling you, we will get our entry on the DAX, and we will all be smiling. Okay, this DAX is going to drop. We're going to be patient. And even if we do entries, we're going to have small entries. Then when we get the drop, it's going to be well worth it. Okay. And I did put in the USD JPY into the traders group. Don't enter that trade until it hits our entry, which is the blue line, which will be 147.002.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, folks. And again, thank you very much for jumping on our call. Robert, again, thank you. And guys, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your day. May the pips be with you.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys. Great job.